Hello guys, good afternoon and happy weekend to all of you. I would just go straight to the point because just because I want to make this video really short. I just wanted to share something really important lesson that I learned, that I thought I should be sharing that with you. It's about 2:15 or 2:20, and I just want to be able to make this real short because I have to go to work. So I thought maybe, I should really do this right now. So this is about, we all deal with fear and like, hi, I'm Susan. For all those who've always been watching the videos that I put out, I'm always talking about motivation and inspiration and, how to overcome our fears, how to follow our dreams and do the things that we need to do. Just a very quick, how do I put it, experience that I encountered. Like I always talk about my patients. So 2 days ago, I was at work, and most of the time I deal with patients who are, dealing with mental illness and all that stuff. And I know we always look at them like they really don't have much to offer. We always look at them like whatever they say doesn't really make any sense. But, something that one of my patients said to me 2 days ago that, it's been lingering around my mind, and I've been thinking about it, and I actually thought it will be a good, something good to share. So 2 days ago, I was at work, and this lady came up to me, and I don't know what was on her mind, and she just, came to me and just, looking around, and then what next she said to me was, this whole hospital, when you stand from the outside and look at it, it looks so big, it looks so huge. But once you get inside, it becomes really small, and it's like you have control over it. And then I looked at her, and that went straight into my heart. And I looked at her again. I was like, you are correct. This is really true. And since then, I've been thinking about it. And I try to relate this statement with, real life, what we're dealing with. And what I actually came to realize that made me, putting out this video is, this is so true. And she talked about the hospital being so big and someone standing outside and looking and, feeling like it's all really big. And I'm thinking, this is so true. We live in a world that it's a big wall. It's really huge. And sometimes we get anxious. Sometimes we feel afraid. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed. Sometimes we feel discouraged just by, the largeness of, of life. That's what it is. And the activities going on, and the, intimidation, the pressure, and all whatnot. And sometimes we just give up. And sometimes we just give up in the things that we want to do. We give up in our dreams. We give up in our goals. We give up in our vision. And every time I think about that, I think about that patient, and, it's just a lesson. It's just something I want to share, that we should learn from this. We should learn from this statement that this lady said. We're standing outside, we're looking at the wall, we feel intimidated, we feel afraid, we have fear. We have fear. We don't know what it's inside. But, like I always say, it comes down to you. Whatever it is, whatever's going on around you, whatever the case may be, it comes down to you. And if you do not make a move, if you do not make that step, you would never know what is ahead of you. And looking at what this lady said, standing outside and looking, And it doesn't even matter. If you could ask for directions, you could ask for how to get to wherever you want to go. You could have all the tools that you have, but if you do not make that step, if you do not make that move, your dreams will never come true. You would never know what you need to know. So listening to what I say is one thing. Liking all the things that I talk about is something else. Learning from what I say is another thing. But if you do not make that move, if you do not look into yourself and make a decision and say, yeah, I'm going to put this information into practice, for me, it's not really helping. Because yeah, you could like all the videos, you could like all the comments, but what are you gaining from everything that you liking? It's not just by liking, making someone to feel better or making someone to feel like, oh yeah, they're putting good information out there, but it's about you putting those words into action. And that's the goal, and that's my goal. That's what I'm trying to say. Not just liking the video. You could not like the video, you could not make comments, but my greatest wish is for you to take that information and put it into practice. That is my goal, because it's up to you. You are the person to make that move. You are the person to make that decision. And like I said, you could have all the tools that you need. You could have everything, but if you do not take that step, honestly, it's just it's just a mind game. You're just playing around with everything that you have. And so that's by the way. And then back to what I was talking about, and back to what, for those who are just joining, hello Mr. Audible, thank you for watching me. Thank you Mr. Ben for watching. Like I said, it's really a very short video because I have to go to work, but I felt necessary for me to share this information before I go. And it's about one of my patients who mentioned something to me last time I was at work. And she came to me and she said, standing from the outside of the hospital, it looks so big, and when you go inside, it looks so small. It's like you are on top of it. And that's why I listened to her. I thought about what she said. I'm trying to relate that to a life. Like, this is real life. This is what is going on. And we get intimidated with the world. We get intimidated by people, by activities, by everything that's around us. And we make conclusions. And sometimes you make that conclusion without even knowing your potentials, without even knowing what you have to offer or what you could learn. And unless you make that decision, unless you make that move, if you're standing outside a hospital and you need to go inside, but you are afraid, and you are afraid to go inside, but you really need to go. And of course, you see people around you, you ask for directions, and you ask for directions, you get information, you have everything in your hand. But if you do not step into that hospital, honestly, it doesn't make any sense. Hi, sis, ma'am. It doesn't make any sense. So it's the same thing. You could be listening to me. I'm saying all of these things. You could be watching other videos, watching people doing things, and you could have this potential. You could have the skills to do it, and you could learn all this information. You could have them all in here. But if you, and I keep on saying if you do not take that step, if you do not act, that's what I'm saying by taking that step. If you do not act, you would never ever, that's the honest truth, and you would never ever make it. You would never ever be what you want to be or do the things that you want to do. And let's try to conquer fear. Fear is just, we create that sense of fear just because we feel like we're not able to, but we can. If someone had told me, for the rest of since I started putting out this video, if someone had said to me, oh, you can do this, I would, like I mentioned this before, but this was one of my greatest fear. Talking in front of the camera, I'm sure every people who know me will still be, surprised that I'm doing this. And that's why I really, really believe, hi sis, I really, really believe that you can do whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. And as long as you breathe, as long as you are alive, please take that step. Don't just listen to the words. Don't just watch videos. Don't just appreciate and make comments. You making comments, that's something you appreciate. But you have to make that, you have to act. You have to act, and that's just all about it. And like I said, this lady, she's suffering from mental illness, but the words that she says, and that's another thing that, you know, we look at people, sometimes we judge them and you just minimize someone or whatever they say. And yeah, listen to what they say, listen to the words and not the person standing in front of you. Because looking at that person, you know, you could say they're speaking nonsense or whatever they're saying doesn't make any sense, but you will be shocked of the things that you will learn. You will be shocked of the things that come out from these people, and you will understand that, you know, the world is not just about the things that we see. There's more to what we see, and unless you dig in, you will never see those things. And yeah, so today's Saturday is November 2nd, and yeah, like I said, I just wanted to touch base and share this information. I just wanted to share this information, but like I said, you could listen to me all day, but please, if you do not act, it doesn't help. It doesn't help you, and it doesn't help anyone around you. So please, let's start to overcome those fears. Let's try to overcome those boundaries that we create by ourselves, those, you know, shortcomings that we think we have that we do not have. Yeah, everyone has their own shortcomings, but that shouldn't be a barrier for you to move on to do the things that you need to do. You know, it's like comparing. It's like I mentioned before, you know, standing in front of that hospital. It's like you facing the wall, and you have all these opportunities. You have all this information spread around you, and you know, if you do not ask, you would not know. If you do not act, you would not achieve. So asking and getting the information is one thing, and acting is another thing. And to round it off, thank you so much for watching. And this was intended to be a very, very short video. And I hope this rings a bell. I hope this hit home. I hope you get something out of it. You know, just let's all, and it's a work in progress. It is a work in progress. Nothing should limit you. Nothing. And nobody should say, oh, you cannot do this. That's not true. You can do whatever you put your mind into. You can do whatever you set your mind and you make up your mind and to do it. And unless you do it, unless you act and start doing the things that you need to do, there will be no change in your life. That's the honest truth. And I always say there's no perfect time. There's just no perfect time, because tomorrow is not promising. Tomorrow might be too late. Anytime is the best time. When you start, that is the best time. Now is the best time. You don't know what's going to happen tonight. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So do something right now. Do something for yourself that will help you tomorrow. That will make you feel proud of yourself tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you and nobody else. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time. Auntie Carol, thank you for watching me today, and happy Saturday. Yeah. Thank you so much once again, and until later.